Alright everybody, I'm back. New video, new month. Today, I've wanted to make this video for I think a few days now, a few months. It's been baking in the ovens. Like some fresh off chocolate chip cookies from grandma, right? It's been baking. Now, I've wanted to talk about this because I've always hated this insufferable little weasel. Now, if somehow you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, the title, and the tags, we're talking about TikTok's little gremlin of a musician, TX2.
Do these lyrics offend you?
What is the answer? Am I the villain or the hero? Answer, where is it?
Who even is TX2? That's probably gonna be some of y'all. Some of y'all might be that don't use TikTok or anything or Instagram are gonna be in the comments like, who the fuck is this? Who is this guy? Now, in case you forgot, right, back in the wee stone age of 2023, you might have seen this video of this ass looking guy trending on TikTok on the For You page. There's a dude with a red tie, white shirt, blondish hair, and he said the infamous lyrics that if you've seen the video is ingrained into your brain. I'm a 5'4" man whore who's That is the subject of our video, TX2, aka, I forgot what his actual fucking name is, but so edit it here. TX2 is this artist who is in the new pop punk and emo revival of 2023 and 2024 that started basically when MGK came back and started doing all this rock-centered music. It was basically that. It started with him because everyone was not doing it until him now. And then now it's like, because that works, now we got all these fucking kids that do collabs with Travis Barker and shit to play drums and produce your album. And now everybody's trying to be like Blink-182. Everybody's trying to be like American Idiot, Green Day. Everybody wants to be My Chemical Romance. This is the new wave that was started by MGK. It also includes him, Youngblood, Caroline Carr, and all the other disgusting mosquitoes that hop onto this trend. Although TX2 has been currently blowing up for his recent, emo and god-awful songs, believe it or not, right, he started off the same way MGK did, a shitty, failed white rapper. Now, there's nothing wrong with white rappers, but I'm just saying that's the one thing I cannot stand that some of these rappers do. But if you look at his first ever upload on his channel, it's like literally a Charlie Puth cover. That's the first thing he ever did. The first thing he ever posted on his channel, at least to our knowledge, because some of it could have been deleted or privated. But you can also still find a bunch of his really bad rap songs.
Please turn this shit off.
And in 2018 and about 2019, he had like 2 albums, like the Modern Punk, and I think it was called 99 Proof. And these albums, both albums, have shitty arts. And when me and the boys had reacted to this album, it was shit. I think the first moment we got into Modern Punk, we instantly cut it off because it was just terrible. It was all shit music. It was like annoying to get through. To this day, I'll never understand how somebody could listen to this man's nasally, whiny voice for like more than like 3 minutes to this day. But basically, around 2020, I think the same time that MGK, he started his whole emo shit around 2020 to milk it like MGK. But in 2023, that's when he blew up. And this is where I have my issues with, right? His like marketing is shit. His marketing is really bad. It's really cringy. And usually I don't have a problem with cringe. I think cringe culture is kind of retarded, honestly. But at the same time, you get cringe like him and it just doesn't work. It's fucking terrible. One of those things where it's like, please get him like a social media team, because why are you posting this stuff? Now, I have a certain part of it later in the video, so I won't get into the main things, which we'll get into later, but a lot of it is bad. I can't stand his collabs with certain people because, of course, he doesn't stop doing it, so I have to keep seeing it over and over. Holy fuck, scumbag dad, I beg, stop collaborating with this ugly little shit. Guys, more times than I can even count on my fingers, the amount of times that I've gone onto Instagram and like I'll be like, oh, a new like scumbag dad post, I wonder what it is. Because most of the time, if it's just like his skits of parodying people, it's still funny. But you go now and it's like 15 of them, and every 15 fucking TX2 was in it, and it's just him promoting another one of his shitty little songs, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's not even just the fact that I've seen him too many times, it's just annoying because it doesn't get funny. Though I actually really like him, that video he did with Johnny Gilbert was fucking cringe as shit. He's one of those guys that, like, his whole marketing gimmick, other than posting his really shitty music with, like, did I just write the 2024 pop punk or emo anthem? Like, he can't even decide if he's pop punk, if he's hard rock, or he's emo. Like, make up your goddamn mind, that's one thing. But it's also, he's one of those fuckers that, like, oh, he'll respond to a comment hating on him, and it's just another clip of his dog shit music, like that infamous Burn clip, that because he responded to a comment of, like, the LGBT can't make it real metal, which I very much disagree with. But of course, that's where he responded with that infamous clip of "Who's the fag now?" and that shitty violin. Oh dear fucking god.
Girl, you can't find nobody else like me, yeah. You were out of your mind, girl, 'cause I'm back.
Okay, let's talk about TX2's lyrics. Probably the most controversial thing about him, other than his god-awful marketing and just insufferable personality. But let's get into it now, right? A lot of his lyrics feel really preachy and tacky. It's absolutely bad in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, you can write sad, emotional songs all you want, any way you want. Even hell, I've done it all the time. I've been writing songs that are like sad and, you know, whatever, and bands can do it and it'll be good. However, this motherfucker not good at it, if you ask me. There's no one way to write a sad song, but it all goes down to how it's approached, type shit. Like what I said before, right? A lot of this man's songs deal with self-harm, his personal issues, and, you know, bringing up abuse and all this stuff. But the way that he handles these subjects are in the way of like an elementary school boy listens to Blood on the Dance Floor. It's all very immature, not like in a silly, charming way like Blink, but like a really man-childish, like mom's basement fucking virgin type of way. It's like that. And another part, TX2 just does not deal with any of these subjects in a tasteful way. It's all preachy and over the top, and it's horrible. The most recent case of this is his new song, Burn. It's that infamous clip you've seen on TikTok where he says the dumbest fucking lyrics and the worst sample ever. This song is all about his hatred for his dad, and then of course you get these horrible chorus of I hope you burn, baby burn, and then of course the goofy ass instrumental, the terrible drumming, like I'm pretty sure wouldn't be surprised if the guitar is out of tune during a take. Like truly one of the worst songs I think to ever come out, and it's surprisingly the worst song he ever made. It's worse than the 5-4 Man Horse shit. Everything going on in there, it just feels like a really bad LSD trip. And the fact that unironically, right, again, it's the unironic fact that his bridge of the song is "Who's the fag now?" and it's in a serious tone, and it's fucking horrible, and it just gets worse. Like there's not a single good lyric in that song. It just gets worse and worse, because right after we get that horrible "Who's the fag now?" we get these infamous lines. Remember when you said I looked gay? I was only in the 5th grade. All the words you spit are ingrained. Made it sin to not think straight. Treat a woman like a bitch. Wait, you could never make a mistake. Guess you passed along this sick brain. Now you're gonna feel this pain. And of course the worst part is the one that also is in another one of his advertising things. Hey, shut the fuck up, dad. This piss drunk brat is about to kick your ass, but goes around, hits back. I guess your kid's gone mad. Look at my wrist. Look, dad. Like, it's everybody's fault but yours. That shit is awful. When he deviates from this stuff, it's even worse. Like the song Randy McNally, the entire song is beyond preachy, which is made worse by the target of the song being Randy McNally, a transphobe who wants queer children dead. The second verse of the song is hilarious for the wrong reason. It seems like TX2 is trying to seem like a tough guy. The entire song doesn't feel genuine and feels like TF2 having a savior complex. This is not even mentioning the whole section as a very awkward and forced commentary on Christianity. But I'm not even gonna touch that. I just saw the fact that I'm not that religious. I know people that are, and maybe they would, but I'm not gonna touch that one with a fucking grain of salt, man.
What is this? Okay.
I need someone.
Yo, oh, yo, this is fucking fire, bro.
Alright, but now we're on our next point. This motherfucker TX2, he's unable to take criticism to save his life. As we just mentioned earlier, he stitches comments of people disliking his music all the time. This in itself is pretty, really dumb in my opinion, but it's one of the many examples of him not being able to take it, right? But we already mentioned this lyrics part. We brought it up in the lyrics because we read both, but in earlier in 2024 this year, comedian and TikToks and YouTube short star, I would argue. Kyle Gordon, he recently put out like a parody song. He's been doing parody songs for a while now, and he recently did an emo one called "My Life Is the Worst Life Ever." It's a good song, I recommend it. But it was basically like it was making fun of emo and like goth subculture in the 2000s, and it's actually tasteful. It's a good tasteful way of like making fun of the emo scene. But TX2 was like those infamous like Twilight parodies that were fucking horrible. But a while ago, a user on TikTok, I don't even know who it was, I think like a kid or something, but they had made a video saying basically like, how is this song better than half of the new emo punk punk artists out there, which is very much true, because again, the fact that a joke song, and the main reason why TX2 release is relevant again now, because they had spoke about it. A Vampire Bites, who is the user on TikTok we're talking about, stitches that video explaining about how the people in the scene don't have substance and how they only milk on stereotypes and they're fucking obviously posers. They're just posers, as we know. They're obviously posers. And they mentioned a few artists like, MGK and Caroline Carr, but the biggest focus was TX2. Well, TX2 had saw the video and stitched it, and it said this.
Just a way to get in. It's just a way to get famous. It's just a guise. It's just a way to make money. So I got two phones, one for the plug and one for the...
Now, in all seriousness, I'll play you the first part of his response, since I'll be using the other half for the next section. So here is the main part he was talking about here.
I'm about to address this and all of you who make this claim, so hear me out and listen carefully. And I shouldn't even have to tell you this, but as someone who has tried to end their life several times because they thought that there was something wrong with them, who has struggled to come out as bi because he feared the girls would like him less, his family wouldn't understand, and he would lose friends, which all of the above happened, and dealing with much more intense trauma that I cannot even talk about on this app, emo music has been the one place that I have found solace. And you're telling me that I can't write about my own experiences and I can't vent? You say there's no substance, but this is literally trauma I have experienced and I'm venting about in my music. I'm sorry I didn't put enough metaphors in my music for it to feel deep.
Problem with this response is mostly that it just doesn't help his case. Vampire Bites' whole video was on his music and his content, and had nothing to mainly deal with his lyrical content or if he's lying about his experiences and shit like that. His music does not have substance. It feels like a gimmick more than genuine on anything. And a lot of this just goes down to his like cadence and instrumentals. God awful, by the way. It just sounds like he's trying too hard. It wouldn't even matter if he added his actual experiences on these songs, because he treats them in such a distasteful and tacky way, which is bad considering some of the topics of these songs are self-harm and like homophobia and Christian and all this other shit. Because again, this is all this shit that a lot of people go through, and you need to take care of this seriously. And just the way he brings up his trauma randomly to bring up a point made that even worse, because if you somehow didn't hear it, he literally said, and mind you, this whole video from Vampire Bites was critiquing him on his music, the way he acts, himself, his dog shit marketing, and the fact that he acts like a poser. He literally says, I could literally unalive myself on a live stream and you would still call me a poser. That is just insulting. Because not only the fact that it's trippy, guilt trippy as hell, and trauma dump, he's also trauma dumping on his fan base. Caroline Carr responded to that video too, but hers is fucking gone. She wiped hers. But now, since we even brought up her name, let's talk about the bitch herself. Now, she's one of the more bigger artists in this wave, but don't let that fool you, because her music's still dog shit, and she actually is the poser. She was known for cosplaying Vanellope, and that's what got her bit. That's how I found her, because she was just cosplaying like Disney characters and all that shit. That's what she was known for. Until now, because now she's on the emo and pop punk wave, and she's dyed her hair right, she's dressing like a goth person, and all this shit, and it's like, she's a fucking trend hopper. But she's allegedly worse than TX2. Allegedly, she has abused her frogs by, mishandling and recording and posting it, trying to pass off as normal. But that is another thing that we can't really get into, because I'm not an expert on animals, I'm not an expert on frogs, so I'm not one to say that. I will say for that, recommend, please God, do your research. Alright, so now this is one of the main points of this last section. But let's be real, he plagiarized music. TX2 has stolen music. You've probably seen the clips, at least nowadays, more recently. His song Black Wedding, which is god awful, by the way. It's been alleged that he stole the melody, flow, and rhythm from a song called Sarcasm I Get Scared. And honestly, if you ask me, it's an open and shut case. Yes, he fucking did it. If you ask me, yes, he did it.
I never thought that I'd sit across from a ball and chain this block that told her daddy stood there shocked. He raised his voice at me and he screamed his white ass with disbelief.
And it's not even just he rips off songs. Even when he doesn't rip off a song, he ruins popular songs. He recently did like 2 covers of like 2 Linkin Park songs, and they were both shit. They were both shit. And thankfully, by the grace of God, they were muted on TikTok because they were terrible.
You're not fucking funny and you're corny. So, literally stop sending me voice messages because they're not funny, actually.
Metalheads, I have one question for you. Who's the fag?
This is the last part that we talk about. The final point of the video, TX2's fetishization of the emo subculture. Now, if you remember that when we talk about TX2's marketing, something was intentionally left out, and that was TX2's constant weird fetishization of specifically emo and goth culture, right? This man, and I'm not even joking when I say this man has like 10 to 15 videos just saying goth dummy mommy and oh, is that a goth dummy mommy, stuff like that, right? You don't believe me? Put it up on screen right now.
God hates the gays!
Touching dick makes you sick.
Sucking cock is not rock!
This is just blatant fetishization of goth women, and he does it every single time. And he always says the same thing, and he gets away with it because he claimed it's a joke. Meanwhile, real goth women get told to kill themselves and harassed and all this stuff. And even in that horrible response, he mentioned this.
Claiming that it is not okay to joke about goth dummy mommies. Who watches this and thinks this is serious or that we ever talk like this? Cam feature.
We're making fun of the people who say goth dummy mommy. We're making fun of the people who fetishize goth and alt people. They deserve to be made fun of. If you want that to go away, you need them.
We have to be able to make jokes about that.
Like, he tries to play it off as satire, but there is no satire. There's no statement or like poking fun of it. He's just saying it without any added commentary or anything. To close it out, was just him poking fun at the people criticizing him. Like, you're just doing what you say is wrong. That's it. He's not adding to anything. It's not helping anything. It's just making everybody have another reason to dislike him. And also, in his infamous, Iowa Hate Me Too song, the 5'4" one, the lyric of I'm a 5'4" man whore who slit his wrist, yet 100,000 kids out there think I'm the shit. This whole part is supposed to be like a cry for help, but when he released it, he considered it not. So I'm not gonna say this whole part is like obviously distasteful. I mean, it also kind of furthers and adds to the stereotype, just like Vampire Points had said. Do you get the point now? Like, this man feeds off of stereotypes all the time, and it's not healthy. It's not even good, for that matter. Thanks for watching. I've been Zoe Graves. You see me now? I will disappear once again in my hole. See you later.
You want to know why I am so cringe? Or why people call me cringe?
I don't really care, but you look easy to draw, so I'm gonna do that. Really love it when you make Get Scared songs, but worse.